Maximus Analysis here for June 8th, 2016, and the ES, again, choppy day intraday, but continues to go higher, was floating around the 2116 and a half area that we posted out on Twitter this morning, and we want them to hold on any type of pullback to 2105 to 2100 level. I mean, again, let's even give it a little bit more space. We want them to hold this 2082 area. We have that as a level that and it lines up right with the low right here that they did a couple of days back, or a couple trading days back. So 2100, that would be right around here in the middle of it. But we just want to make sure that this is not a false break reversal that could be setting up. We'll continue to watch. Again, there's a lot of stuff going on, which is going well in regards to the bull case. So we just have to continue to look at it from here. Again, they've cleared this level, and we just don't want them to get back underneath this this price, which is again in line with the 2082 area that we've talked about. The NQ, we want them to hold on any pullback, because again, this could just be just a flag for more upside potential, but we'll know very soon because volatility is spiking up. But we want them to hold these lows. This low we want them to hold. Again, 44.79. If they break above 45.90 with some type of oomph, they're going to go, of course, to the 4600 mark, which brings them right here, but break above here. So we'll continue to see what what the NQ is going to do. The YM, again, it was up. It closed above 18,000, which is a level that it's a psychological level, but again, we don't want them to go underneath 17,500 anymore. What I'm looking at in regards to even the components of that is the last one I see that actually I want to see how this week closes is actually Verizon on the weekly. I want to see where this closes. Because it's coming right back in this previous area, and I want to see if it's going to close strong. I also want to see if Microsoft is going to close strong. It's been just sideways. I also want to see if Tesla, again, is going to close strong as well, but we'll go into Tesla a little bit later. We'll keep with our theme, which we do every day, and we'll go at the see that they have some strong marks with this crude. Now this is crude on the daily time frame. You can see they're coming right back up to this previous area. They broke through this tail, which they rolled. Let me give you a little bit more information. This is the daily, and you can see underneath there they hit it once, this low, and then they broke above it. So they're continuing to the upside. And if they don't stop, they could see 53, 53, 53 and a half. Let's not be sticklers on 3 ticks. And then on the weekly, oh, that is the weekly. On the daily, you can see that they've closed today, which was the EIA report, in somewhat type of strength. Again, we want them to hold this 48 level on any type of pullbacks. Okay, so they held this high, and they're continuing. Again, getting a little it's doing fine, quite honestly. Again, here is not the time that I would be going long. But again, if you did go long around this 200-day moving average, congratulations. And because this was a choppy, this isn't the cleanest way to go up. But again, if it's going up, so be it. Let's look at a couple names. Apple on the daily, and you can see that we're pretty much in no man's land, hovering around this $100 level. I don't know if we are going to look at potentially some a flag for more upside, but then we want to make sure we're looking at the weekly time frame to say, okay, are they flagging for barely some more upside? And we're in the middle of this channel, so we could kind of just watch from here and see how things play out, because they do have 2 strong weeks off of the 200-day moving average. We want to see how this volume looks going into Friday. We also have Google, which had a strong day today, basically still kind of sideways on the weekly, which you can see. On the daily, they had a kind of strong day because, again, they gapped up, but it was just kind of choppy as well. But they're still holding this channel. But again, we don't want to discount what we have going on here. So we have the gap down then we're sliding sideways again. If they get below here and give me a retrace, ideal situation would be a test of this 200-day moving average. I will short because there is nothing but a lot of air. They clear this 680 level. I did talk about Microsoft and I did talk about Tesla, but let's revisit that just one more time. Microsoft is very sideways. You also have Tesla, which is giving a shooting star pattern with higher type of volume. So we want to see if this low of today is going to hold. Again, that's the 230 area, and we want to see, again, this is the reason. And I'm glad that this came up because, again, we can look at the intraday time frame so you can see on the 15-minute that, Lord, don't look at this. This is after hours, but you can see the 15-minute how they came up and came down and just went sideways. That's the bigger thing to say. Okay, the bulls came up and gave it all back up and then didn't run it back up at least halfway. And that is what gives you this type of pattern. So that's why a lot of people look at the daily pattern, but you have to understand the intraday type of movements that create the pattern on the daily. So at least you have a little bit more confidence in versus just I see a hammer, I see a shooting star, I see a bull just engulfing. It's where you see it sometimes. That's the best thing. Again, another lesson would be this is a bullish engulfing pattern, but it's coming after a long move. So you can't just use these candlesticks without looking at the contents of where it is within the trend. Example, getting this pullback, a gap down, and coming back 50% into that. That is a, I forgot the name of that. I think it's a pierce. I don't think it's, yes, it's a piercing pattern. The one on the opposite side is actually the dark cloud cover, I believe. Don't quote me, but it's more of saying, all right, less about the names of the candles, but more about what happened. So this gap down and came all the way back up halfway into this previous candle on a pullback versus an engulfing pattern I would prefer to have down here than at the end of already moving up. The ES, we are already about 3 days up in a row. So we'll see how, well, not in a row. We've had a couple days actually up, but again, they're breaking the new highs for 2016. And looking to the left, we see there's not really that much going on. So obviously the bulls are in control. You can see it breaking above this box, getting above these areas. This is where the 2016 you know, around, well, these are the 2016 highs, but these are the highs from last October, November. So we'll continue to watch it and take care.